speaking with you today. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, what a coincidence. I'm so excited to speak to you too, Sophia.
Oh, best intro ever for an interview. Appreciate you, big fan.
Thanks.
And so the first thing I want to ask you is obviously this isn't your first time lending your voice to a character. I mean, Tangled is my all-time favorite Disney movie, but we won't get into that.
Well, you have excellent taste.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Tangled. I'd rewatch that anytime. But how do you feel when you get to see the actual character come to life when the movie is finished? Because you're lending your voice, but that's half the battle of bringing the character to life. I mean, to see it with your voice must be incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty delightful, honestly. Because yeah, with live action, you live it. You're seeing even though you don't know exactly what the cut's going to be or what all of the camera angles might be, or if you're doing something that's CGI heavy, like with Shazam, there's a lot of things I can imagine what it might look like, but I don't know for sure. But normally with live action, you have a pretty good sense of this is what it's going to look like or whatever. With animation, you get to be almost just as surprised as everybody else. You know the story, you know the voice that you put into it, but I didn't work with any other, with voiceover, you do it all by yourself, basically, all the voicing. And then all the animators do all the rest of the work, and so it's kind of new and fresh for you too, and it's a lot of fun. And it was so good. Clearly, Aardman Studios are so good. They're full of so many talented people, and stop motion's really cool too, because it's almost like a hybrid between animation and live action, because it's live, it's real, it exists in real space, but then very painstakingly is moved into all of its little motions, which blows my mind. I mean, the amount of patience that our animators have and slowly making it all work is incredible. So it's very cool. The whole process is very cool.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it, right? How it's done and put together, and everything came out incredible, which I'm not surprised with. But how did you go about honoring the first portrayal of Rocky in the first movie, but then also finding a way to make your character your own? Because I think you did a great job balancing that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, listen, there are big shoes to fill. Mel Gibson is an incredible talent and brought so much riz, if I can be so bold as to use one of the terms that the kids are throwing around. It was plenty of riz he brought to Rocky, and so I try to bring a little riz myself. But ultimately, you're trying to do right by the script. The script is already doing justice to who Rocky was, and now where Rocky is, and where Rocky is now is he's a dad, and that's a very different version of the hotshot bachelor that you meet in the first one, who then finds love and starts kind of settling and grounding with that love with Ginger. Now as a dad, and he's a girl dad, and that just softens him even more, and you see that vulnerability and all that, and then his willingness to sacrifice his own life to save hers, because it's like, that's my daughter, and so there's really great meat in there, and so you just do right by the script. They've already done a fantastic job conceiving it. I show up and try not to screw it up.
What is your favorite thing about sharing a movie like this for a family with the audiences, especially around the holiday times? I think it's really nice to put out content the whole family can enjoy. What does that mean to you, especially, for fans of the first film to be able to share the sequel with their own families?
I mean, I've been so blessed that throughout my life, I've been able to be a part of genuinely excellent family entertainment. And not necessarily children's entertainment, but family entertainment. And what separates children's entertainment from family entertainment, or vice versa, what separates family from children, is that family entertainment is written on a slightly higher intellectual level so that adults are enjoying it on an adult level while the kids are enjoying it on a kid level. And that allows for really everyone to truly enjoy it, and that's an energetic thing. And so when a whole family not is just sitting and watching something together, but when everyone's actually enjoying it together, that creates a positive, energetic, literally vibe that bonds people. Oxytocin starts coming out. Like, these are, there's data behind this. So I love it. I love that I get to be used as an instrument of joy, an instrument of entertaining people, of bringing love, and and sometimes even dramatically bringing tears, and and stirring somebody's soul. The amount of times I've met people at conventions or otherwise, they come up to me and say, I want, Chuck fans who they're every episode, their entire family, they might not hang out at all together, except on Monday nights when Chuck was on. And they would all come together to watch Chuck or Tangled or now, Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. Like, I know that this is one of those 4-quadrant movies that is intelligent enough for adults to really enjoy it and delightful on a youth level to engage the kids and for them to be enjoying it too. That is what you're hoping for, and I think we've done that.
You have, and you are just wonderful to speak with. Thank you so much for, again, taking the time. And yeah, I hope to speak with you again super soon.
Absolutely. Bless you. So nice to talk to you. Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays. Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color. Sam, I am so excited to be speaking with you today. Thank you so much for your time.
Nice to meet you, Sophia, and I love the name of your site. That's so cool.
Thank you
That's
so
so
much. Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I love this movie and you did such an
Okay.
amazing job. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course. And so the first thing I want to ask you is when making the sequel, how did you approach balancing the importance of the fans of the first film, but also ensuring that the sequel was for the new generation so everyone can enjoy? Because I think one thing I saw a lot on the comments on YouTube for the trailer and social media was the excitement from everyone across the board for this one.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a challenge. That's probably why I wanted to do it because it was a challenge and it's a little bit sort of exciting and scary at the same time, like all good things are. It just took a long time, to be honest. It's taken a long time because the first movie is very special and very beloved, and there's so many things about it that you want to keep. But that can paralyze you if you are too irreverent of it and you're too in awe of something from the past. And in some ways, that's kind of what the story is about in its heart, So for me, there were certain things that kind of like gave me my past to kind of like move on. Molly was one, and like the idea that Ginger and Rocky have a kid now, and now we get a kid POD, and she's a brand new character. She's fresh. I'm a brand new director in this. And so the pair of us are kind of like, for me, she was like really enjoyable to kind of think about her. And like, she is brought up in this paradise that her mum has created. Her mum wanted this freedom her whole life. She's created paradise, and Molly grows up in it. And Ginger says, "This is freedom, Molly. You never have to leave ever. You can stay here your whole life." And so Molly, that's not Molly's idea of freedom. And so it's kind of like, that's kind of me, like I'm like, this is beautiful, but I do need to kind of push out and go beyond and explore something new. And so just that character going out into the world is kind of like was my way out of the island, if you like, out of this paradise of this perfect place. And then we go out into this new era of industrial farming, industrial food production, nuggets. It's a kind of a more modern form of food, and a whole different world, And that was really, so I felt like Act One should feel like Chicken Run, should feel the most like the first movie. And so you get 15, 20 minutes to really bathe in the kind of lovely, cozy, warm world of chickens. And we have the score, like the original composer, Harry Gregson Williams, brought that kind of beautiful flavor in the music. And then we kind of like go with Molly and we get out, we bust out and we kind of go somewhere new. And, I quite a lot of people I've met have said they've watched them back to back and they've not really felt a bump, and they've been happy to go with it.
Stop motion animation, I think, is just so fascinating to think about. It's such an amazing art form. I'm curious, what is one behind the scenes fact from this particular movie while making it that fans just watching the film wouldn't necessarily realize?
Ooh, well, one thing you might see Feathers McGraw in there, actually. I don't know if you know the penguin from The Wrong Masters. Well, he makes a brief appearance in the background of one of the shots. But no, I mean, I think you'd be surprised at how much of it was actually built, like it was like the popcorn is real. Like when there's popcorn, it's not like computer generated popcorn. It's like literally sacks of popcorn were poured onto the set and used, and there was a real magnifying glass where, you know, when Rocky, it was like one of the crew members' old magnifying glass, he brought it in and we used it in the film. There's a lot of someone left a tape measure in one of the shots and we didn't bother painting it out. We left it in there, you know. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of it, but mostly it's just I think is still amazing. It was just handmade, you know. One of those shots would take an animator for a week to do 4 seconds, which I think is still pretty amazing.
Sam, thank you so much again for your time. Congratulations on this movie, and it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. Good luck with all your site and everything. It's great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, okay. And you, bye.
The activists, directors, comments and the lectures, fanboys, professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The Hard Knock